Hey guys, this is Mark for the Gun Guy channel, and today we are talking about weapons lights.
3.
No. Specifically, the Nitecore NPL27. Why, you might ask? Well, they sent us one. And the light just came out, so we're going to take a look at it right after this. So today we're taking a look at Nitecore's new compact tactical weapons light. Literally, I think it just came out a couple of weeks ago. And we're going to take a look at why you might want a light like this. We're going to unbox it, go over some of the specs, show you how it fits on a few really nice guns and a Glock, and briefly go over some of the competition models in the market. But before we do that, if you have been enjoying our channel, please give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe, comment about how we can make the channel better, what you think of this video, and what you think of weapons lights. And as always, we're going to bookmark the chapters, so if you want to jump ahead to something that's of interest to you, other than my witty banter, feel free. So, why a weapons light? Because not all bad things happen in the bright light of day. If you have a home invader, he is probably not breaking into your house at 2 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. So most likely that's going to be at night. And what a weapons light allows you to do is see the intruder. Hopefully it's bright enough that it blinds them or obscures their vision, as opposed to just turning on a light switch.
Oh, I know you.
You know, he can see you just as well as you can see him, and honestly, probably gives the intruder a little bit of an advantage in that particular situation. Similarly, if you are using a concealed carry weapon or using a duty gun, you want to be able to see your target clearly, and you also want to be able to see what's around and behind your target, right? Those are some of the most basic gun safety rules there are. Now, there are a lot of lights out there. And again, why are we doing this particular light? Well, they sent it to us. So we're going to take a look a little bit later in the video at some of the top competitors and see how they measure up. But we're not going to do a, light to light to light. I'm going to give you some of the specs and you can decide on your own. Now, if you have any of those competitive lights, please leave a comment and tell me what you think of them, and tell me how you think they stack up to this particular Nitecore model. So what are you really looking for in a weapons light? Well, most basic thing, you want something that's going to fit your gun well. And for me, that usually means that it doesn't stick out way in front of the muzzle, because when that happens, the light gets very dirty with carbon, and it eventually will reduce the throw of the light, the brightness of the light. And for example, if it's a light that has a laser in it, you're going to have to take it off, clean it, and re-zero it. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. But you do want something that's bright. You want something that has, a good throw. And there is a difference between those, right? So brightness literally, I guess, refers to brightness. How bright something is. And the effective throw range of the gun is how far the light will actually go and be effective. So for example, you can have a super bright light, but if the throw range is 5 feet and an intruder in your house is 20 yards away, that is not a good light for that particular situation. So you want a happy balance between the two. And then there is also, how hard or easy is it to change the battery? If you have to take the light off the gun to change the battery, or if it's rechargeable, and the almighty dollar. So you have to consider the price and, what you think it's worth. Anyhow, these are the main things that, you need to consider, or at least I consider when I'm buying a weapon light. And now that we've gone over the things that I think are important to consider, let's take a look at what is in the box that Nitecore sent us. All right, so let's take a look at what's in the Nitecore box. It's a compact tactical light for those of you who can't read.
But you know what the worst part of all is? I never learned to read!
And again, it has the specs on the outside. 650 lumens, 410 meters, with a maximum intensity of 42,000 candle lights. It is impact resistant to 2 meters, and it is waterproof, which is IPX6. Now, waterproof is not exactly accurate. An IPX6 rating isn't actually waterproof, it's water resistant. So what the IP stands for is ingress protection. The X means that it is not rated for solid materials like dust and pebbles, etc. And the 6 is the pressure. So an IPX6 is actually pretty good for heavy rain, splashes, heavy sweat, water coming out of a hose. It will not work if you submerge it even for a little bit at a time. So don't do that. That's kind of a misnomer. And in the back, you have the manual, the Nitecore card. This is the additional rail if you want to switch it to a Picatinny rail as opposed to the Glock rail. The charging, the USB charging, and the rechargeable replaceable battery. We go to the front side and let's try and get this out. There we go. And it kind of pops out. Now, this spot is where the battery goes in, and honestly, this is kind of one of the things I really do like about this light. I don't like having to change batteries and take a light or an optic off a gun to change it. So it comes with this battery, which to charge, you simply plug this into a computer or a USB-C port. And then this is magnetic. It just goes right there. Whoops. Like that. And it will start to charge up. So that's really nice. You don't have to take the gun, or I'm sorry, you don't have to take the light off the gun, and you can just slide the battery off the light. It also tests it to tell you how bright it is. So, or I'm sorry, how much charge is in it. So you push this button right here, and we get 4 lights, which means it has a full charge. To put the light in, you simply slide it in like that, and now the light is functional. So this specific light is 2.6 inches in length. It is supposed to weigh 2.57 ounces, which is really pretty light, and I kind of like that for a weapons light, but let's weigh it and see where we come in at. I'll be darned, 2.57. So in all the videos we did, that has to be the first time that the scales actually matched what's in the manual. So kudos to them for that. Again, the lumens or the brightness is 650, and as we discussed, this is supposed to have a throw of 410 meters, and that's really, really impressive because that's about 450 yards, which coincidentally is the exact same yardage that the Bears racked up last year in total offense.
Williams setting up, checking down, pressure comes and down he goes. Picked up, Williams in trouble, down he goes. Pressure coming late and down he goes.
Just kidding, they didn't come anywhere near 450 yards. But it is literally 4.5 football fields, so that's pretty impressive. The battery life on this specific battery is on full, it's supposed to be about 50 minutes, and on low, so it does have a high and a low setting, about 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's really nice how these function. So this specific light has these 2 little paddles, And if you want to just have the light flash on, right, you just hold it and it will flash. And then when you take it off, the light will go off. And it's pretty darn bright. So I'm hoping it's not just blasting the camera out of existence. If you want to just turn it on permanently, you just tap it once and now it is on until you tap it again. That is the high beam, by the way. So to put it on high and leave it on, tap it once. You can tap it twice and now it goes to the low mode. And to bring it back to high mode, tap it twice again and voila, and once to turn it off. So the operations are really very simple on this specific light. Now, in regard to the, how you would mount it, and apparently we're not allowed to show how you mount this right now because rumor has it that YouTube is really salty about that. It seems to make no sense whatsoever, but I don't own YouTube, so we're gonna go with it. You can basically just take a coin. We can't show the actual mounting of it, but honestly, if you can't figure it out, you probably shouldn't be touching firearms anyhow.
No touchy, no touchy.
You just take a coin and you can loosen it by turning counterclockwise. And it's audible, so it clicks very nicely. This part will start to move out. And what it will do is allow this to slide open so that you can place it on one of the rails on the gun that you so choose to mount it on. And again, it goes out pretty far. And then you can also, and this is a very nice part, you can decide how far in or out of the rail it will go and where it sits by pressing this button, and that allows you to slide that up and down. So we're going to take a pause and I'm going to put it on. All of these guns, we'll actually put it on the Glock, and all these guns are open obviously and have been cleared. But since we have a Glock and I don't like shooting it, we might as well use it for a light. Once you have it on, you cannot tighten it until you actually place the position. So with this button, you can move the light back. And then once it is in position, now you can tighten the screw and you have a secured light on the gun in the place that you want. And again, the positioning, the light's really a nice size. I do like when it's just a little bit behind so that it's not going to get super dirty. But boom, you could also, or at least the way that I hold the gun, you could use your thumb or you can use the trigger finger, right? And, so I do like the controls on this specific light. And in regard to just removing this, very simple if you wanted to charge it once it's mounted, so you don't have to take the light off and on. You just push this button and it slides right out and you can charge it and then right back. So it really does work well. Now I'm gonna just place it on this gun really quick and this gun to show you how it fits. It does definitely fit, in my opinion, better on a full size than on a micro 9, but let's take a peek. So we're gonna take a pause. Well, I did not actually put the rail adapter on, but you can see it protrudes quite a bit past on this gun. So on this micro 9, I'd probably want a smaller light just because this is gonna be a ton of cleaning and it's gonna follow the light as well. So I'm gonna just take this off and I'll show you real quick. On this specific gun, if you can see where the carbon is, and it's dirty from the last time I fired because I'm really too lazy to clean this gun. But that, if you look at it, right, would definitely start to foul this light. So it would work, it would fit if I put the adapter on. However, I wouldn't put it on this. I would stick with a regular size gun. Throw it on this gun just to give you a size reference, right? So again, for this, it would fit very nicely. It's still a little bit further out. It did fit beautifully on that. You know what? I wonder if it's just this part. So I am gonna open this up and we'll try it real quick. Oh yeah. You know, so this actually fits pretty nice. It's maybe a millimeter or two past or before the muzzle. Again, I didn't really mount this. I just wanted to show you how it fits. I think that this light is really ideal for a mid to full size carry weapon or a duty gun. And again, just very nice placement, you know, on the paddles. So that just works really beautifully. All right, so now that we have taken a peek of this light on these guns, you know what? Let's put it on the Stoeger for fun. So I am actually going to take this out and be careful not to lose the tiny baby screws, because you will be screwed.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
If you want to put this on a Picatinny rail as opposed to a Glock, simply drop that little piece there. You take these screws and it looks like they already have a dab of blue Loctite on them. And we're going to stick it on there and put that in. Now this is going to be pressured up against the gun too, so it doesn't require a great deal of tightness, but you want to make sure it's at least decent. All right, and we're going to take one more. I actually find it easier to stick it on the Allen wrench as opposed to my big clumsy fingers trying to put it in to the hole on the light. So do that. All right, so now it's set to put on a Picatinny rail, which we're going to do. Poof. And now it's on this gun. So this gun is now a really good duty gun or home defense gun for that matter. This is now a really nice alternative setup to having a laser light on the bottom of a home defense gun, because you will still get the optic, but you now have the red dot as well. And so not sure if that's going to show up or not, but that would definitely work for home defense or duty purposes. And to that end, what we're going to do is turn off the lights and show you how bright it is at both 10 feet and 36 feet. All right, so this is at approximately 12 feet, and it's pretty dark, and now it's not. Right, and so that's the bright, and we're going to put it on the low. Still really pretty nice. All right, so this is about 12 feet. We're gonna now switch to about 12 to 15 yards, which is from the back of this room all the way out to the front door, and see how that goes. We're gonna just see how the light goes Boom, that's bright. You can see it's really super bright at this distance even. And then light, oh, I'm sorry, that was low. This is high, so the high is definitely bright. And now what we're also gonna do, just because I think it's interesting, is I'm gonna move the camera where the door is, and you will now see what would happen if you are breaking into the house and boom, get hit with this light, what you would see. All right, so we got the camera where the exit sign is, and we will go on. And that is the high light, so this should be what an intruder would basically be staring into. And we're going to take this. Now we're going to do the same thing on a low light. And again, someone is staring at this light when it comes on, and that is the low light version. So if you are 4 to 5 yards of the assailant and your light comes on, it is boom. So just from a pure statistical point, the Nitecore has 650 lumens, the beam distance is 410 meters, 2.6 inches in length, the height is 1.3 inches, weight 2.57. It has a rechargeable battery. The runtime on high is 50 minutes, and the price is $119. The Streamlight TLR7HL has 1,000 lumens. It is 200 meters in beam distance, 2.58 inches in length, 1.27 inches in height, 2.4 ounces in weight. It has a CR123A, which means the battery has to be swapped out. It has a runtime of 1.5 hours, and it runs about $140. We also have another Streamlight, which is the TLR7A. It has 500 lumens, 140 meter distance. It is 2.15 inches in length, 1.27 inches in height, 2.4 ounces. It also has a CR123 battery, and it has a runtime of 1.5 hours, and it cost approximately $130. There is the SureFire, which is one of the premier names in weapons lights. The SureFire XSC has 350 lumens, 90 meters beam distance, 2 inches in length, 1.1 inches in height, 1.7 ounces, and is rechargeable with a 30 to 45 minute runtime. It comes in at a whooping $300. The SureFire X300U-B has 1,000 lumens. It has a 213 meter distance. The length is 3.6. The height is 1.5 inches. It is 4 ounces, making it one of the heavier lights, and it also has a CR123A battery, which means that you have to take the gun light off the gun to change the battery. It runs anywhere from $290 to $330. Not to be forgotten is the Holosun PID, which also has 1,000 lumens. It has 250 meters beam distance. The length is 3.2 inches. The height is 1.5 inches. The weight is 4.4 ounces, and it is rechargeable with a runtime of 60 minutes. And you can find this light anywhere from 135 to 150. And last but not least, and only because I like the brand, is the Olight PL Mini 3 Valkyrie, which has 600 lumens, a 130 meter distance. Its length is 2.2 inches with its height 1.3 inches. It weighs 2.57 ounces and has a rechargeable battery with approximately a 1 hour runtime, and it runs anywhere from 100 to 110. Now, I am not recommending any of these lights. I'm just putting it out there that these are some comparative lights, but I will say this for the Nitecore, none of them have the beam distance that this particular light does. even the lights that cost 2 to 3 times what it cost. All right, so now that we've kind of got an idea of how the light works, how it compares to some of the competitors, what are the pros and cons of the Nitecore NPL27? Well, the pros, and the most obvious one, is it's got an exceptional beam throw for its size. So 410 meters. I think that's actually the longest of any of the lights that we looked at. It's lightweight and compact without sacrificing performance. It's got a rechargeable battery via the magnetic USB-C port, and I do like that much more than a CR, 1230 or whatever the battery is that you have to replace. The little nickel size thing, they're kind of a pain in the butt. It's got excellent switch ergonomics and an ambidextrous design, proven thermal management and runtime accuracy, right? So it doesn't get too hot. It's got the native Glock rail fit and a Picatinny rail adapter, so you can put it on a decent gun or a Glock. It's ideal for everyday carry, tactical use, and home defense uses. Now the cons, okay, it is not the brightest light overall. It's got a slightly longer body than some of the micro compact options, so again, could stick out a little past the muzzle, which may make it dirtier, make it a little more prone to having to be cleaned a lot. And then there are less holster systems compared to the TLR or the SureFire models. But in conclusion, the Nitecore NPL27 might not be the brightest, it might not be the most famous. Guess that means it should run for Congress. But it seems like it's a pretty good light with an amazing throw, rechargeable, and it's got a really nice price point at around $119. So overall, I do like this light. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, comment. See you next time on the Gun Guy channel.